Hi guys. So we're moving to doing requests online because getting them through my text, I now have an assistant. So she needs to be able to put these addresses in the system so we can keep a better track of them. So you will be receiving a link from me shortly. This link you will need to keep because you're on electronic home monitoring, meaning the judge has said you can only go to certain places in order for you to leave. Now, the only other option is there is personal time. Sometimes the judge gives like 5 hours here and there. Now, if he doesn't, I will approve personal time on a case by case basis. Those still need to come if you don't have approval to, like if you're going somewhere that's not approved, that still needs to come to the text message. Then once it is approved, you still will then go to this form and put it in. So that way, my assistant can go into the actual system and put it in. And I now have to I have to make sure I keep track of every address I approve to. So here we go. You're looking at my screen currently. This is what the screen will look like when you open it on your phone. You'll put your name in, first and last. You'll check in or out, and it is a required field, so you have to put it in. You will check the reason for your leaving. So if you are someone that texts me all the time saying, hey, I'm going to work here, I'm going to work there, I'm going to work here, work. School, when you're leaving to go to school, or when you're coming back from school. Court, attorney's office, medical visits. Medical visits are something that is given to you by the judge up front. The personal time, I put examples. So like you want to go get a haircut, you got to go to the grocery store, or anything else that does not fit into these buckets here, that is going to go in personal time. And I'll text you and say, hey, that's personal time. Go to the site and put it in. Then you will come down and you will give the address where you're going. You will sign it. You are signing this because you understand that you're leaving. You're on EDH, which is electronic home monitoring with GPS, and are subject to private probation, which is me, approval to leave, and is a part of the court reportings. Because right now, I have to go back and copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. I need it all in one space. So that's why we're doing it this way. Now, I've opened this form. It's showing me currently here at this address. That is where, do not change this section here. I will figure out how to lock it soon, but just don't change it. Let it detect what address you're at. So let's say you work several different locations. When you leave home, and let's say you are a CNA and you have to go from home to a patient's home, you're going to check out at home. When you get to that patient's home, you're checking in. When you're leaving that patient's home, you're checking out. Then when you get to the next patient home, you're checking in. When you leave that patient's home, you're checking out. So use that scenario for whatever you're doing. When you get to the location, you're checking in because that tells me you made it to the location where you said you were going. If there is stops in between, let's say you're going from your home to the work location and you stop and get something to eat at White Castles, you do not have to check in and out for White Castles because you're going to be in that drive-through literally, probably at the most, hopefully they're not packed, 5 to 10 minutes. You don't have to check in there. I can see where you're at if something goes wrong in between the time of you checking in and checking out. I can see it on the screen. But don't be like, okay, well, my client is in Clayton, but I'm going to drive from U City all the way to Florissant White Castle because they got the best White Castles, and then drive back across town and go to your client's home. No. It needs to be in the straight stream shot of you going to your location. If you deviate, that is a violation. You cannot go somewhere that is not in an approved place by the judge already or already discussed with the office. If you text me and say, hey, I'm going to go get a haircut, And during that haircut, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. You're gonna leave. You're gonna check out from your home. Check in when you get to the grocery store. I'm sorry, when you get to the barbershop. Check out when you're leaving. When you get to the grocery store, you're gonna check in at the grocery store. When you're leaving the grocery store, check out, and then when you get home, check in. That way, the judge can see that you're totally compliant, and he can see where I approved you to go. Especially if it's personal, because he didn't approve you to go there. So I don't want me to send you a report and it's showing you going to addresses that are not actually active on there. Because if it shows you moving around to places that you're not supposed to be at, not only can you get in trouble, I can get in trouble. So this is a way for me to keep track of everywhere you're going, where I can put it in a spreadsheet and give it to the courts on my weekly reports. If you have any questions, call me at the office. Remember, the office is only open Monday through Friday. Monday through Thursday is 10 a.m. to 4:30. And if you see me looking off, it's because I'm staring at myself on the screen. And Fridays from 10 a.m. to 6. If something goes wrong in between those times, pulled over by the police, that's considered an emergency. That should be you calling me. 314-625-3692. The minute that police officer pulls you over, you should be calling me. So that way I know what's going on. And I would like to sit on the phone, if you don't mind, until I know you've pulled back off. Any police interaction should be a call. If you get to a job and you need to leave the job because, let's say, I have people who work for cleaning companies. You need to leave the job because you ran out of supplies, so you got to go back to supply base. Put the supply base address in. When you're leaving supplies, out to that place, in when you get there, out when you're leaving, in when you get back to where you're going. So each time you should be logging into this site and clicking in or out. So remember, in is when you get back to the location that you're supposed to be at, or you're getting to the location you were approved to go to. When you're leaving, it's out. And then you put in the address you're headed to. So it shouldn't be that many where you're heading. I have a couple people that do home health, so they have multiple clients during the day. So yes, this will be a little bit hectic for you, but it's easier for me than right now. I have 22 people texting me addresses daily. I need to have them in a uniform space, and I need to be able to get to them as soon as possible. Not having to copy and paste them out of text message on my cell phone, text message on the business line. I need it all in one uniform place. So if the judge called and asks on the 24th, did I let you leave? I can go straight there and say, yes, Your Honor, I did let him leave. Not I got to scroll through and see, did I approve something? Because that could cost you a violation. Because if I can't find it, then I'm going to be like, nah, I didn't approve it. But yeah, my report shows that he left. It's a violation. So this not only protects you from my mistakes, it protects you when the judge asks, why did you leave home? So I hope you guys are having a great, awesome start to the new year. I hope this service is not needed too long during this year. However, it's just the pain and price we have to pay right now. And this makes it more easier for you as well when you have to leave and go somewhere else. You don't have to physically text me and wait on me to say, okay. So I hope everybody's having a good day. And once you get this text and link, go ahead and start using it. Thanks. Bye, guys. Call me if you have any questions.